This is my failed Nemo Tensor. This pad has developed 3 leaks and I've made a warranty claim on it. And this is the replacement pad that Nemo sent me. So now that the pad is in my possession and I've used it, it's time to share my Nemo warranty experience. But first, backstory. I do feel like it's important to say that I never once mentioned anything about me being a YouTuber. I didn't want any special treatment, be it good or bad. I purchased this pad on June 5th, 2020, and it was great. Super comfortable pad, lightweight, and I really enjoyed it. About 6 months ago, I was 6 days in on a 9-day canoe trip when the pad failed for the first time. I was very thankful that my buddy Craig had a spare that he carried and was willing to let me use. Saved my trip.
My beloved Nemo Tensor has a hole in it somewhere. And lucky for me, Craig carries a spare and he let me use it. And I gotta tell you, this $25 pad saved my butt. Literally.
When I got home from that trip, I set about to repairing the pad, and I made a video about that experience and told you guys that I would keep you updated on the progress of the pad. Well, it wasn't long after that when the second leak developed. A carbon copy of the first one. A leak in the bonding locations. I repaired the pad again, and the very next time I used it, it sprung its third leak. And just like the 2 leaks before it, a bonding location. There's my 2 previous patches. Now I have another leak down where the seams are bonded. 3 leaks of the same nature. This is obviously a defective pad. So I made a warranty claim, and this video is about that experience. I'm going to try and keep this video as short and to the point as possible. I have all the information timelined and written out because it's just way too much for me to remember. So here we go. On February 20th, I went to Nemo's website and I filled out all the proper information that was necessary to file my claim. I filed my claim, and at this point the pad was only on its second leak, both of which had been repaired, and the pad was currently holding air. 2 days later, on February 22nd, they responded by email, and the process began. And again, I had to explain the situation to see if the pad was going to qualify for a warranty replacement. So I did, and on top of that I sent them a video of the 2 repairs that I had done. The next day they responded and asked if I had any proof of purchase. On the 24th, I said that I did. On the 25th, they asked me to send it, and on the 26th, I did. 7 days later they responded, and this is where things start to get a little bit interesting, and this is what they said. I'll put this information up on the screen for you. So, thank you for reaching out to us. We're sorry to hear about your gear. We'd be happy to cover the damage under our lifetime warranty. Normally we would need the gear shipped back to us to provide a replacement, but due to high return volumes and stocking timelines, we'd like to get you taken care of ASAP. And then they went on to ask for the pad ID number and the exact make and model of the pad. At this point, I'm thinking, cool, I don't have to send the pad in, I get to keep it, I'll use it as a spare, it would make an excellent backup. And at the very same time, I'm thinking, what's up with the high return volumes? That's interesting. Within hours, they responded, and here's what they said. Thanks for the follow-ups. As we're limiting the packages to our headquarters, we can waive our normal requirement to send your gear to us for a warranty inspection. We will, however, require you to destroy your gear and send photos of the destroyed gear so that it cannot be submitted for another warranty claim. Please cut out the valve of the pad and send a photo. Once you send us a photo, we will be able to proceed with a pad replacement. Please note this pad is estimated to be back in stock next month, and we will ship it once available. We appreciate your patience and understanding during these unprecedented times. Okay. So at this point, I have to destroy a pad that's been repaired and is currently holding air. And I've got to destroy that in order to wait for a month to get my replacement pad. It just doesn't make much sense to me. And this is the response that I sent to them. Winter is almost over. I do a lot of camping and adventures in the mountains. I can't go without a pad for over a month. That's crazy. I also spent time repairing this pad again. As of right now, it holds air. I don't see the point in destroying it when it can be used as a backup. There has to be another method of identifying it without destroying it. Now the next day, on March 4th, they responded by telling me, we'd be happy to receive the photo of destruction closer to the April restock. Then, once we receive the photo, we can send the replacement pad. Our return policy requires either the photo of destruction or you have the pad physically returned to our office. Let me know how you choose to proceed. Thank you. So there's obviously no way around destroying the pad to get my replacement, and it was holding air, so at this point I was pretty irritated. I was bothered by the whole situation for several reasons, and I wasn't quite sure what I was going to do at that point. The pad had been repaired, it was holding air, and I wasn't quite sure that I was going to move forward with the claim at this point. Well, as it turns out, circumstance forced my hand in the decision that I made, because the very next time that I used that pad, it sprung its third leak, just like the other two, in a bonding location. And that was that. The pad was obviously junk. So on the 20th of March, I contacted them and said, yep, I want to move forward with this claim. The 21st, they responded by saying, your non-insulated will be back in stock in May. The insulated will be back in stock in a couple of weeks. Would you prefer that? And I feel like this is where things really started to work out in my favor, because this was my chance to get an insulated pad. So I responded the next day and said, sure, I'll take the insulated pad. That'd be great. On the 23rd, they said, okay, but first you need to send pictures of the destroyed pad. So with a heavy heart, I destroyed that pad. I chopped the valve right off, and on the 24th, I sent them that picture. 25th, they said, thank you for the pictures. When your order ships, we'll send you your tracking information. Now, 19 days later, almost 3 weeks later, they responded and said, good news, the pad's in stock. We're going to have it shipped to you. So then they sent the pad. On April 13th, they sent me the shipping information, and on April 20th, the pad arrived. Boom. Nemo Tensor insulated. So now I have my winter pad, which I think is pretty sweet. That's it. That was my experience. The whole thing, start to finish, took 2 months. But I easily added a couple weeks to that in my uncertainty and not being sure about what I wanted to do and moving forward or not. And they just happened to not have the stuff in stock when I made my claim. I have a buddy that made a claim, and they treated him well and got his pad to him in real short order. So I'm not going to complain about my situation. It is what it is. I did get a pad, so I can't complain about that. Now, what I can complain about is having to destroy a pad that was holding air. Ultimately, the pad ended up failing again, so that wouldn't have been an issue anyway, but maybe not every single pad is failing in the same nature that mine was, and maybe not every single pad needs to be destroyed and end up in a landfill somewhere. I'm assuming that all failures aren't going to be the same as mine, and some of these pads can be repaired. It's unfortunate having to destroy them, so I wish that they could figure out a better solution to that. I understand their logic behind it, but there's got to be a better way than just tossing these things in the trash and being done with it. The woman that I was communicating with, she was nice, she was pleasant the whole time. She never got short with me because I was being a little bit difficult, I guess. I got the pad. I'm happy I got the pad because I loved the first one that I had. It was super comfortable, and I think it's solid that they stood behind their warranty and shipped me out a pad that wasn't necessarily the same exact pad that I had bought. In order to get me a pad in a timely fashion, they sent me one that is a bit more expensive than the one I originally bought. So I thought that was cool. So that's my experience, folks. I feel like I probably made a claim at just the right time to have it be drawn out for a little bit longer than it normally would, but they made good on it. I have my pad. I'm looking forward to using this. Nemo Equipment, thank you for standing behind your warranty. Now I gotta ask, do you have any Nemo gear, and have you ever had to make a warranty claim? If so, I'd love to hear about your experience. Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate your support. I'll see you next time.